Good evening, welcome to Future Focus. I'm your host, Delfeayo Marsalis, and we're delighted to have a young lady that's the publicity magnet. We've got Miss Havilah Malone in the studio. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me here.
And you got the new book, How to Become a Publicity Magnet. And I want you to, let's talk, well, before we get to exactly how I can become a publicity magnet,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about your background and how you become involved in PR and marketing and all of that kind of stuff. Where'd you go to school?
I actually went to the University of New Orleans, high school, Bonneville, here in Louisiana, you want to know what high school you went to.
Okay.
So I went to UNO. I graduated with a degree in dramatic arts and communication and a minor in psychology, and I got out of school when I was about 19 years old.
Okay.
And yeah.
So when did you start, when you were 15?
I started when I was 16, and I
Okay.
skipped a year in college as well, and skipped some years in high school.
Okay. So what was it like in high school? Were you more involved with marketing then, or was it more sports or athletics? Or?
No, I was a bookworm, and I was into like writing for like the paper and doing like the morning broadcasts and things like that. So mostly in broadcast media, even when I was in school. So
Okay. Okay. And it was an easy transition from high school to college, even though you were still young?
well, it was actually. I went off to school, and I'm not even gonna lie. When I got there for my first semester, I was like, in the books I'm on it. I was like, wow, this is a little bit easier than I thought it was gonna be. And so then the next semester, I kind of ditched off school a little bit. Spent a little time in the UC playing pool, but my parents were like, back to class.
So now, you were a pool shark? Were you sharking people? Or?
I was, for a little bit. For a little bit. And they were like, oh, that young girl, like, oh, she doesn't know anything. I'd be like,
and you were like, okay, you're going to end up giving me your paycheck.
Exactly.
All right. So we got a hustler. Okay, cool. And so now let's talk a little bit about UNO and how did that prepare you, and were you, just behind the scenes, and I know you got in front of the camera at some point. How did that come about?
Absolutely, yeah. So I actually, in my last year of college, I was interning actually at the Fox 8 Studios, and I actually worked here in NOA TV.
Okay.
So, and after leaving school, I came over and started working, with both stations, and that gave me a lot of behind the scenes experience. And then I ended up moving on to doing some on-camera stuff. So I've worked with American Movie Classics. I was a representative on like the Home Shopping Network and QVC, representing Hewlett-Packard products, and even had a television show on Style Network. So a lot of experience in the media from both sides of the field, behind the scenes, figuring out what goes on and what goes into preparing a show, and then also being like the talent like yourself on the show as well.
Okay, so what makes QVC and these kinds of things? What's actually I don't know if I want to say the secret to the success, but what would make a QVC product successful?
What would make it successful? Something that's really of use to the audience, and something that can be made exciting. I mean, things that you can demonstrate and show, like the before and after. One of the great things, and what I loved about, and your show is live, and QVC, HSN, those types of shows are live as well. And you literally have the product there. You're talking back and forth with the host. You're talking with the audience, and you're showing people how it works. When people get that visual cue and get that experience, because they feel like they're in it, like, okay, I can bring that printer home, or I can bring that product home, and those are the results I'm going to get.
Okay.
And that actually plays in really well too with people who are trying to get publicity for their business or get the word out about the things that they do or have. The more you can show, we live in a visual society. People want it quick, and they want it now, and they want to see it. They want to know how it works. So if you can, show whatever product or service you have, maybe you can create videos, have people do testimonials about how it's changed their life, or, you can show before and after. You're a weight loss coach. You have clients who've gone from, lost 100 pounds. You can show that. That's huge. Right. And the media clams to that as well, because people want to see what's in it for me. What do I get?
Okay. And what if you have a product that's really kind of jive and it's not happening? And is it hard to be excited about that, or how do you do that?
Well, first and foremost, I would certainly hope you're working with a product that you are passionate about. and that's something that does excite you, because a lot of times it's about you and the way that you present something more than the thing itself. Because when you come off with that passion, that energy about it, it's kind of like, ooh, what do you have? I need to, whatever you got going on, I need some of that.
Right.
You know, so people feel that energetic connection, and they want that. And then of course when you show them how it's going to benefit them, so you really do have to, you know, figure out, is this something that you need? And let me show you how it's going to help you get from wherever you are to where you want to be. And when you can do that and add that kind of value to somebody, you're going to win.
Okay. So now let's say, for example, let's say maybe you run a band. And you're excited about the band, and you have youngsters that come in, and they don't really want to pay attention to what you're saying, and it causes a certain amount of frustration. Now, how would you deal with that from an audience standpoint? Because you want the music to get better, but you don't want the audience to know it. Would you use that to an advantage? What do you think?
Okay, so if you have a band, let me just make sure I get the scenario right. So if you have a band and you're performing, those people are there, and they came to listen to you perform. Paid money to watch you perform.
The youngsters don't want to listen to what you're telling them, and they're just doing whatever they want to do, and you want to try to get them more in sync.
Definitely building rapport and connecting with your audience is going to be huge, because when people know that you care about them and what you're doing is really there to serve them, it makes a huge difference. Now, if they've come to you, you know, seeking you out, so that evidently there was something that drew them there. So it's about also keeping them there and keeping their attention. A lot of times when we're doing things, we get into our own world. You know, we get into our own head, we go into la la land here. And so, but it's really about, okay, am I really listening to you? Am I really paying attention to your reactions to what I'm doing? Is this really resonating with you or not? You know? So it's really about having that connection with somebody, absolutely.
Okay.
And if you're getting that same, or if that person is getting that kind of reaction from those youths, ask them, you know, how can I improve this for you? You know?
You'd ask them in the middle of the performance, or you'd wait till afterward and say?
Oh, okay, so this is a live performance, you're like concert style.
Well, I mean, it's a hypothetical situation.
Okay, yeah. Hypothetically speaking, you know, we have a live performance.
Hypothetically live performance.
Okay.
Would you maybe even and bring the audience in and say, well, you know, the thing about these youngsters is,
get them involved. Okay. Absolutely, get them involved. Have them, you know, and get audience suggestions on what song you should play next. You know, what do you want to hear? You know, make it about them.
Okay, I don't know if we can go that far. I mean, the hypothetical situation. I don't know if whoever that is, the band leader would go that far. But okay, so let's talk a little bit about how to become a publicity magnet. Now, you just had a new release of this. Yes, congratulations.
Thank you
and
so
I believe
much.
we're going to have a book signing, and that's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. So we have a book signing over at the Dish on Haynes. It's at 9734 Haynes Boulevard, and it's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. and it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, not only is it happy hour, but we're going to be doing I know, really. It's Friday night. You want to have some fun? Yeah, we're going to be doing prize giveaways. We're going to have a radio remote. It's going to be broadcast even live on the web. So we're going to have a really good time, like a really good time.
Okay. And so now let's tell me a little bit about the book and how it came about. When did you start on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I worked in, because I transitioned over from working in broadcast media, which is something I absolutely loved, and then I kind of got drawn into the security, or so-called security of going in. I went into corporate America for many years, and while there, amazing company, loved what I did, but it wasn't truly my passion. I was just doing the things that people expected me to do and kind of starting to walk a path that was laid out for me, but wasn't really like my purpose and drive and passion in life. And so after many years of working with this company, we got on a call and they were like, you know what, the entire organization is being dissolved, and you know what, you guys are all being laid off. Wow. And I was like, yay. It wasn't that reaction at first.
Right.
It wasn't, because my identity was tied to that. And I was staying in that position because I was coming from a place of fear of stepping out into the unknown. And a lot of people don't pursue the things that they want in life because of fear, because they don't know what's on the other side of that door. So it's really about tapping into your own personal power, getting congruent with who you are and what you really want out of life, what you really want out of life, and then taking those steps to go after it, taking that proverbial leap of faith. And so the book really, because it talks about there's 5 steps to win in your personal and professional life. So it's about getting you in the right mindset, getting you in the right place for you to be able to take advantage of those opportunities and really go after what you want and become the type of person that the media is drawn to. Because when you're living in your power, you're living in your truth, trust me, people are going to want to know what you got going on.
Now, you think that's the case for everyone? I mean, everybody can have these types of results?
Yeah, I absolutely believe in it. I am the biggest proponent that anything is possible. Anything in life that you want, you can have it. And where you don't see proof of it, become the proof of it. And it really takes you being able to own yourself and know who you are and what you want and be willing to take the risks to be able to go after it. So many people won't even take the risk. They're like, oh, that seems like a good opportunity. Oh, I want to be on that show. Oh, I got to call that producer. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm not going to do that. And then they hold back. And you have been given so many gifts, so many talents, there's so many resources available to you. But until you can tap into that, you may be living that life that's like, one day.
Now, is this mostly for people who have some type of maybe a creative endeavor, or it could be, or what? Maybe I guess the question would be: suppose people are they're not even thinking that there could be something else. Do you actually deal with that?
Oh, absolutely. It really taps into and sparks within you. If there's something in there, it's gonna spark it. It's going to tap into it, absolutely. And the thing about the book and a lot of the feedback, and you can go to Amazon, read the reviews on the book, people are like, there's no fluff. Like, I don't do fluff. I am so like direct to the point. It's nothing but meat. It gives you, concrete tips, tools, things that you can do, implement right now today. I mean, people are like, I pick up the book and I cannot put it down until I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to checking it out. Get my advanced copy. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I will make sure that I have a signed copy for you. And for anyone who would like to come out to the book signing, I will be personally signing the books for them. So definitely come meet us out at the Dish on Hain tomorrow night from 6 to 8 so we can have some fun together.
All right. Yeah. Indeed. We're talking to Ms. Havilah Malone. And, I want to talk a little bit right now about your being on screen or in front of the camera. Now, how did that come about, and what are some of your experiences as an actress?
Yes. So I'll tell you, my first, because I used to, when I was younger, I used to do like some modeling and stuff like that. And my first on camera, like big thing on camera, I was actually assisting a casting director, and we were casting for a project for American Movie Classics. And we were going through all these auditions and things like that. And she steps back, she says, you should really audition for this. And I was like, oh, no, I'm good. Again, I wasn't ready to step into the opportunities that were before me. And after we almost throughout the entire, we're done at the end of the day, and she was like, I really think you should audition for this. So I was like, you know what the heck, okay. I go, I do the audition, and I'm just like, ain't no way in the world, because I actually used to be a lot larger than I am now, and so I did have a lot of self-esteem issues and self-worth issues because I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin, and a lot of things associated with that. And when the directors came back and I got called in and they wanted me for this AMC project, and I'm like, wait, what?
So they didn't mind.
Oh my God, no.
They were like, hey,
yeah,
come on with it, Mom.
So many times we look at ourselves and we see, or we pick flaws. We pick the things about us that we, think are our downfall, or the things that we don't like. And what you don't realize sometimes is that's not what other people see. They may see that, that light in you. They may see that key or that jewel in you that you don't even see. And that's what, everybody has really been commenting about the book, is that it brings that out of you. It brings that, whatever you have in you that may be hidden past all these layers, it brings it out.
Okay. So do you think that maybe landing this particular role was helpful for you in overcoming certain things that you were